Today is the 30th of the June 2023, and we would like to look at dividing using ratios. We did start looking at percentages, and then we scratch a little bit on ratio. In the last video, we said the symbol we use for ratios is the English colon sign. So we'll have ratios like 1:4, 1:6:8. Okay, so these are the proportions. Yesterday we also look at proportions. So maybe if you have 10 apples, then you can divide it into a 2, a 4, and a 4 proportion. Okay, where the ratio will be 2:4 and 4. Assuming you are dividing in that ratio among 3 people. Okay, so today we'll look at some examples. So here I have a money question. Divide £700 in a ratio of 3:4. Okay, so first of all, the ratio that you need to divide the money into is 3:4. So 3 portions to 4 portions. So you need a total of 7 portions. You remember one time I said, assuming I have a pizza and I divide it into 6 portions, and it's then I have 1/6. Okay, here you need 7 portions of £700, which is straightforward. In practicality, it will be £100, but this is what you did. Assuming the numbers were complex, you are going to use the same method. Okay, so first you add 3 to 4, which is 7, and then you divide 700 by 7, which is 100. So a portion is £100. A portion of 700 is £100 from what we did, the unitary method. Okay, so now 3 portions of 100 will give you £300. 4 portions of 100 will give you £400. So if you are going to divide 700 in a ratio 3:4, then you are going to end up dividing 700 into 300 portions. £300 is to £400. Okay, so that is the first one. Let's look at the second example. Divide 650 into the ratio 2:3. So my total ratio now will be 2 add 3, which is equal to 5. So if I want to find one portion, it will be 650 divided by 5, because my total ratio is 5, which is 130. Okay, you can divide using more factors of 5 if you don't have a calculator, and if you have a calculator, you just do 650 divided by 5, and it will give you 130. So 2 portions of 130 will give you 260. That's the first part. 3 portions of 130 will give you 390. Okay, so now ratio 2:3 will be 260 is to 390. Note, if you add 260 to 390, you should get 650. Otherwise, you didn't calculate it right. So the only way you will know that you did the right thing is when you add both the ratio you divided the figure, the money into, it should add up to the original amount. Okay, so here 300 add 400 will add up to 700, which we started with. Otherwise, there's something wrong. Assuming you got 720, then maybe there's something wrong with your calculations. You should quickly go back and check it. Okay, so in notes, in the end, when you add the ratios, it should be the original figure. Okay, so if you are dividing 700 and you into a certain ratio, when you finish, your answer should give you back the original figure. If it's less or more than that, then you've maybe made a mistake somewhere. You can quickly go and check. Here, the second part of today's lesson, I want to talk about ratios, working from value share. So what we just did, they give you the ratio and they give you the amount, and then you will use the unitary method to find the portion of 1, and then you end up, if it's 2 portions, then you multiply by 2 to get your answer. Now, you are not told the total amount. You are told what somebody got, and then you are told the ratio in which the amount is divided into. So now you are asked to find what the second person or the third person will get. Okay, here's an example and I'll show you what I mean. So the question is, Kathy and Faye share the money they receive from cake sale in a ratio 2:3. So there was a cake sale between Kathy and Faye, and then they shared it in a ratio 2:3. Maybe the input for Kathy and Faye was different, or maybe one person brought more ingredients than the other. So they decided that, okay, whatever we get, we'll share it into this ratio. Okay, they were doing a cake sale for charity. So Kathy received £320 for her named charity. How much will Faye collect for her charity? Okay, so now we have Kathy into Faye. Kathy received 2 portions. Faye received 3 portions. So the ratio in the end from all the amounts they sold is 2:3. We are told Kathy got 320. We don't know what Faye got. We are asked to find that. That is the meaning of this question. Okay. Now, so we'll work from the known to the unknown. Okay, so now we know that Ekati got 2 portions, and her 2 portions is £320. So if we want to find a portion, then Kati's portion will be 320 divided by 2. So I've underlined Kati, 2 portions, 320. So Kati now is 320 divided by 2. So her 1 portion will be £160. That is why she got 2 portions, which is £320, which she gave back to charity. Now Faye got 3 portions, and they told us to find out how much she got and how much she gave to her charity. So Faye now, 1 portion is 160, okay, times 3, and that will give us 480. Okay, another way you can do it, if you don't have a calculator, is Kati's portion is 320, 1 portion is 160, so you add 320 to 160 and you should get 480, or you times 160 by 3, which will also give you 480. So what it means is Faye will give £480 to her charity. Okay, now let's look at our last example for today. Okay, during a celebration, a donation of £520 was made to a homeless foundation. Okay, the total donation received was divided in a ratio of 4:5. What was the donation to the Hospice Foundation? Note, the Homeless Foundation collected 4 parts of the total donation. So here again, we have homeless charity and a hospice charity. Okay, the homeless charity from the question took 4 parts. The hospice charity from the question took 5 parts. Maybe the organizers decided to use this portion because maybe the homeless has less needs at that moment than the hospice. Okay, so they use this proportion to calculate what they got from the celebration. Okay, now the homeless charity got the 4 portion worth £520. We are told to find what was donated to the hospice. So again, we are going to find a portion of 520, which will be 520 divided by 4, which is £130. £130 times 4 will be 520, because if you double this, you have 220, and if you double it again, if you double 130, you have 260, and if you double it again, you will have 520. So this is the first part. So the unitary method, 1 portion is 130. So now the hospice was given 5 portions of all the donations. Okay, So now, one portion is 130 times 5 is 650. So the hospice donation will give us 650. So they gave 650 to the hospice. They could go on further and say, calculate the total amount of donation received during the celebration. So now we have what was donated to the homeless, and we have what was donated to the hospice. So all we'll have to do is to add 520 plus 650, which will give us a total amount of 1170. So this is the total amount they got, but we are not asked to find that. But I'm only asking, you need to read the question and see what you are asked to do. Okay, this is the total amount they got. The question just asks us, find how much was given to the hospice using the ratio they've given you and giving you the amount that was donated to the homeless charity. But assuming this is a part A of a question, and they asked you to find 650, and they went on further to ask you to find how much was the total donation, then you shouldn't forget to add the 520 to 650. I hope I'm clear on that. Okay, so today we just done some ratio questions. If you are in secondary school and you've done these topics and you don't understand, after watching the video, go back and look at the whether they've given you a pamphlet or a worksheet. Most of them might have some, if maybe they taught you ratio, most of them might have a mixture of these questions I'm trying to show you and the way to solve them. So watch the video, go back, look at the topic you've done, and then find some of the questions you got wrong, or maybe that you didn't understand but you got them right, and use the explanation I've given to make sense of it. That is the only way you can learn it and understand it. Okay, because all this we are learning, you would need it to solve a question. Okay, the question might come as this, but even if they twist it a little bit, you shouldn't be confused, because if you read the question and get the information that is being given to you, then straight away you should know where to start from when answering the question and where to end. That is why I showed you the unitary method, because it's very helpful in solving questions like this, and they always come anyway. Okay, thank you for watching today's lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson.